My name is Elizabeth, and I'm here today to teach you how to make paints from natural materials that you might find outside. So those could include something like leaves, got some green leaves in there. You could use flowers, got some flower petals there. You can use mud if you really want to. I have discovered that the darker the color of the material, the better it works. And leaves, I have found, are especially juicy. So if you find some nice green leaves or some purple leaves, those work, I think, really, really well. Now, how do you make paints from things that you might collect from outside? Like, how do you do that? It's a good question. What you got to start with is your natural material. So I in here I've got some spider plant leaves because they're pretty juicy. And then these are some leaves that I found from a tree outside. They might be a maple. I'm not very good at tree biology, so I'm not really sure what kind of leaf it is. But I have basically a bunch of green leaves in here. Now, to start, what you got to do is you take your materials, you can put them in a bowl. I would suggest a bowl and not a plate because then they're just going to go everywhere. And you tear them up. You want to tear them up into really tiny pieces because if you do that, it'll make it easier to crush them. Because that's essentially how you're going to get all the juicy material out of these leaves or flowers or whatever you've picked. You can also, if you have them to spare, you can also use berries because they're very juicy, but I know not everybody has those available. So it's better to just pick stuff that you find randomly outside. And if you do choose to use some kind of natural fruit or berry that you find outside, make sure you are very, very careful with that. Ask a parent for permission. Maybe use gloves because you never know. Those might not be very good for your tummy. All right, so I think I did okay there. Kind of crushed everything up. Dropped things everywhere. Kind of crushed everything up, okay? And then you can use something like a mortar. Mortar and a pestle. I don't have either of those, so I'm going to use my this is essentially a bunch of measuring spoons that are attached together to form a monkey, but the base of it is very flat. So this is what I use to crush the materials. And what you got to do is you got to put a lot of elbow grease in here because it can be hard to crush, those leaves that you find outside. And once you get to a good place with the crushing, you'll find that you'll have a little bit of juice on the bottom. And once you get a little bit of juice on the bottom of the bowl, you add your adhesive. Now, an adhesive is something that helps the plant matter stick together. Otherwise, it's going to get really watery. This makes it a little thicker. Now, I have here olive oil, but you could also use veggie oil. You could just use water if that's all you have. You could use linseed oil. You could use avocado oil, any type of oil that you have at home that you have to spare, otherwise water is fine, is really good for kind of making sure that you thicken up or making sure that the leaves that you've crushed up thicken up and turn into paint. So you kind of crush that up, crush that up, crush that up. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me crush this. I actually had the forethought of already creating one of these for you, so you didn't have to sit there and watch me do that. But once you really crush it up good, and after you've added your adhesive, you're gonna get this real mushy, juicy paste here. And this is purple leaves from a coleus that I own, and some purple wildflowers that I found outside. So you want it to be very mushy, like that. You want it to be pretty soft and mushy. Now you're gonna get a lot of clumps. Like, see all these clumps I've got in there? Your paint's gonna be clumpy. I mean, you just made it. It's from outside. It's not gonna be like the stuff you buy in the store. But it is gonna be juicy, and it's that juice that you can use to paint. Now all I have is a finger. I don't have any paintbrushes, but you're welcome to use paintbrushes if that's what you have at home. And take a look at that. Yeah. It does work. And like I said, the darker colors work better than the lighter colors, though. You can try with any type of color you want, any type of material. I think it's a lot of fun because I also get to experiment with, can I mix purple and pink together and make a new color? Can I mix yellow dandelions and green leaves to make something deeper in color? You can do that. You can see if you can mix the colors and sort of see what happens. See if you can match a color that you made to a box of colored pencils that you have at home. Were you able to match the color, the natural color that you made to one of the colors in, you know, a Crayola box? That I think is a lot of fun to see just how different machine-made colors are from natural ones. So, and that's how you make natural paints. I will be sure to add a photo of all my materials at the end of this video so you can kind of see everything that I used. And I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Thanks for joining me.